Maya Kien. Our first scholarship winner is Maya Kien. Maya graduated from North College Hill with a 4.0 GPA. This fall, she will be attending Xavier University, majoring in speech pathology. Maya's scholarship is made possible in part by a grant from the Charlotte R. Schmidlapp Fund, Fifth Third Bank trustee. Please join me in congratulating Maya Kien.
Thank you. Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank the Anthony Munoz Foundation and all the supporting partners for this amazing scholarship that I'm very honored to be receiving tonight. In the fall, I plan on, like Anthony said, I plan on attending Xavier University to major in speech pathology. And now a little bit about the adversity that I've experienced throughout the years. I experienced adversity before I can even pronounce the word adversity. I was 2 years old when my mom left. From what I was told, my mom and my dad went through a really bad divorce, and my dad won full custody, and my mother moved on to another man who was involved with drugs, and we never saw her again. Throughout the next several years, my dad struggled to find a way to provide for me and my 3 older brothers, and as I learned the ins and outs of, and as he learned the ins and outs of being a single parent, try as he might, he was defeated in the end. Growing up, I knew money was an issue. I would always feel terrible when I had to tell my dad that I needed new shoes or anything for school or stuff like that, because I just knew he didn't have the money. And he would work 2 jobs most of the time, and it was difficult for him to find gainful employment. Inevitably, our house was foreclosed, and I was without a place to live. After shuffling between a couple households locally, it was decided that it was best that I stay with my aunt and uncle in Dayton. Being forced to leave my brothers was difficult. I found myself in a different household, in a different school system. I adapted to a whole new family, new school, new friends. I never let my circumstances overcome me as I continued to excel in my education. I wanted a better life for myself, so I started to do everything to ensure that I was on the right route to college. Despite my best efforts, my aunt and I clashed readily and often, and I was forced to move back to North College Hill with my dad. At first, our relationship wasn't the best. Just when we were learning to finally get along with each other again, tragedy struck. On November 26th of 2016, my dad was struck by a car. I rushed to the hospital, had to wait hours because he was in surgery, and it was so heartbreaking to see him in such a sad condition. Because my dad was suffering from a traumatic brain injury, he was not going to be out of the hospital, let alone working, for a very long time. Because I lived alone with my dad at the time, I was named his medical power of attorney. I answered all the questions, I signed all the papers, I made all the decisions. My brothers were of little help. And for an 18-year-old who was still in high school, I had to grow up really fast. It was difficult working 35 hours a week, going to school full-time, and taking care of my dad at home. I'm not sure if my dad will ever fully recover, and I don't know how I will be able to balance this reality of mine with the rigors of college, but I will succeed, and I must succeed. Through adversity, however unwanted, comes strength.